morning, yoga people. This is Linda Nueva. I'm a certified Iyengar yoga teacher, and this class is called Simple and Beautiful. Take an easy cross-legged position. Sit up on blankets if your knees are not in line with your hips. Sit up tall. On an inhalation, lift the arms. Join the palms together. Exhale, draw them down in front of the heart. Gently close the eyes from top to bottom and lift the chest. 3 ohms together to begin practice. Or take silence if appropriate. Release the hands to the tops of the thighs and gently open your eyes. Mountain pose. Take the feet hip width apart. Take a quick look down to see that the arches of the feet are lifted. Straighten the legs by lifting the kneecap and lifting the quadricep up towards the hips. And on a next inhalation, lift the arms over the head, facing the palms forward. Get length through the waist. Yes, it's my first stretch of the day, early in the morning. Exhale, release. On the next inhalation, lift the hands over the head, palms facing the ears. Inhale, lift up. Now join the palms. Bring the palms in front of the heart, and then roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. And keep the integrity of mountain pose at the same time. On an exhalation, release the arms to the sides. We'll start out by taking a downward facing dog to open up the back of the legs. I'll be quiet for a few moments so that you can find your best and your most comfortable downward facing dog. Exhale, release. Sit down on the heels. Lift the arms overhead just like we did before. Press the tops of the feet into the floor. Get long through the sides of the waist and then lift the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Straight arms. Exhale, release. If you have 2 blocks handy, or a chair or a shelf, get them out. I'm going to place the blocks right here for a standing forward fold. I'm going to show you that with a concave back because it's this concave back that keeps our back safe when we come into forward bends. Feet hip width apart. Inhale, lift up, just like we did before. Now place the hands on the hips, fold from the hips, place the hands on the blocks, and lift the head. Lift the front of the chest so that the middle of the back becomes concave. Concave, just as if you were catching rainwater, right in that part of your back. Keep the legs engaged, concave back. Place the hands on the hips and come on up. I'm in mountain pose, and I'm going to turn my back to you so you can see the next pose, which is backward namaskar of the hands. Come to mountain pose, and then swing the hands behind the back, place the palms on the small of the back, and then rotate the wrists up. Bring the hands up, the palms up, and press the palms together. If that's not available to you today, then hold the elbow with the opposite hands. Paschima Namaskar, backward facing namaskar of the hands. Root the heels into the floor. Lift the kneecaps. Lift the quadriceps. And feel a horizontal spread of the chest as you press the palms towards each other. Keeping backward namaskar of the hands, separate the legs about 3 feet apart. Point the toes forwards. So I'm going to come to the side for a sec. We're going to do Parsvottanasana, intense stretch of the sides of the chest. I think one of the easiest mistakes to make is to point the buttocks way back here and keep the body out of line. So to fix that, hold the buttocks in towards the midline and then take the sacrum deep into the body, okay? So I'm just going to show you that before. So we have the legs separated, but bring the buttocks in so we're not taking too much of a sway back. Backward namaskar of the hands. Turn the right leg out, left leg in, heel to heel alignment. Press the hands into the back and lift up, looking towards the ceiling. Keep that horizontal width of the chest. And if it's available to you, extend the trunk over the right leg, over the right leg, over the right leg. If you have your blocks, you can place the hands on either side of the blocks. Lift the head to make the back concave. Exhale, fold. Be here in the pose. It's a standing forward bend. Dig the left heel into the floor. Place the hands on the hips and swing yourself up. Take the blocks over to the left side. Point the legs, point the toes forwards. Take the hands again into backward namaskar of the hands. Re-straighten the legs. Replace the sacrum, tailbone deep into the body, and then turn the whole left leg out from the hip socket. And bring the right leg in. Take a heel to heel alignment. Are your legs straight? The back leg is in at about 70 degrees and the forward leg is pointing straight ahead. Inhale, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Keep your attention in that back leg. Keep the back heel pressing down. And then place the hands on the blocks, which are on either side of the front leg. Straighten the arms. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, fold forwards. Keep the attention in the legs. And feel an extension of the spine as you fold the trunk over the left leg. To come out of the pose, dig the back heel down, so it's the brain of the pose, hands on the hips, and swing up. Point the toes forwards. Mountain pose. In Virabhadrasana 1, Warrior 1. Step or jump 3 feet apart. Straight legs, straight arms. Take that sacrum tailbone in, just like we did in intense stretch of the sides of the waist, Parsvottanasana. Spin the palms up towards the ceiling. Take the hands up. Are your arms straight? Are your legs straight? And Warrior 1 to the right. So I'm mirroring you. Turn the right leg out and the left leg in. Heel to heel alignment is just fine for Warrior 1. Root that back heel down and then bend the front leg to no more than a 90-degree angle. Lift the arms up. Lift the arms up. Straighten the front leg. You can keep the arms up here to make this extra challenging, or you can take a break for just a second, place the hands on the hips. Up to you, okay? Warrior 1 on the left. We start with the straight legs and straight arms. Turn the left leg out, right leg in. Bend the left leg to a 90-degree angle. Straight back leg, bent front leg. Arms are straight. Exhale, release, Warrior 1. Mountain pose. Let's do Warrior 1 again, starting on the left. Okay, step or jump, nice and wide. Check in with yourself. Straight legs, arms extending out to the sides in line with the shoulders, and sacrum tailbone deep into the body. Spin the palms up. Extend the arms up overhead. Right side. So this back leg is going to be straight, and the back heel, again, it's at about 60 degrees. So it would be the toes are at about 4:30, 5 o'clock. That back leg is the brain of the pose. Bend the front knee. Bend the front knee to no more than a 90-degree angle. Straighten the front leg. Toes facing forwards. Re-establish the lift of the arms. And Warrior 1 to the left. How's that back leg doing for you? Keep your attention there. Bend the front leg. Straighten the leg. Place the hands on the hips. Join the feet. And come back to mountain pose. Take a moment here to bring a meditative quality to mountain pose. I'm going to turn to the side for our next pose. Our next pose is Prasarita Padottanasana, extended wide-legged pose. It's a standing forward bend. Feet together, mountain pose. Have your blocks in front of you. Bring the hands in front of the chest. Step or jump wide. The stance here is a little wider than most of the standing poses. Place the hands on the hips. Kneecaps in, quadriceps up. Lift the sternum up to the ceiling, and if it's available to you, look up. And then fold from the hips and place the hands on the floor or on top of the blocks in front of you. So here's the same action that we had in the standing forward bend before. Inhale, lift up. You can see my back get concave right here at the bra line, yeah? Exhale, fold. Place the hands between the feet. If it's early in the morning, you might find that that the head is a bit farther away from the floor. Place the head on top of a block or a book to give it support. So you can be here for a minute. Place the palms in line with the toes and point the elbows straight back. Check in with your legs. The kneecaps are working, they're lifting up. The quadriceps are lifting up. And the buttocks are neither too far back like that or too far forwards. We're creating a stable triangle. Remove the block for a moment and see if the head is coming down any closer to the floor. Let the spine release. Inhale, look up. Join the feet together by heel toeing them in. Bring the feet hip width apart. Place the hands on the hips and swing up, leading from the tops of the shoulders. Come take a seat on the floor for some seated poses. Extend the legs in front of you. And I'm going to show you to the side. If the sacrum is either moving too far forwards or spilling back towards the back of the room, take a blanket and sit up on some height. It's healthier for the back that way. Staff pose. Join the feet. Separate the feet wide into a wide lateral side angle. Again, dig the heels into the floor, press the palms on top of the thighs, and press the thighs down. Press the thighs down. Interlace the thumbs so that the hands are in the shape of a butterfly, and on the next inhalation, lift the hands over the head, all the while keeping that action of the legs. The thighs move down. The heels move down. The hands move up. Exhale, release. Change the interlace of the thumbs with the non-dominant thumb again. You'll see my hands are making the shape of a butterfly. Inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, lift the hands down. Place one hand in front of the legs and the other behind, twisting to the left. And again, the thighs are working. They press down to the floor. It's not like I'm casually sitting with my legs separated, but it's a really strong action of the legs pressing in towards the floor. Inhale, lift up. Twist to the left. Twist to the left. Come back to center. And then we'll twist to the other side. Exhale, release. Bring the right leg in, and you can place the right hand behind the right knee. Bring the left leg in. And come into cobbler's pose. Interlace the hands if it's available to you, and place it under the knife edge of the feet. Press the soles of the feet towards each other, and then widen the knees. You should feel a stretch in the inner groins. Straighten the arms and lift up the torso. You can sit in this pose for up to 10 minutes. On the next exhalation, straighten legs in front of you. Okay, so we're going to move through Janu Shirshasana and Upavishta Konasana kind of quickly for a minute. So Upavishta Konasana is with the legs separated. Janu Shirshasana is one leg is straight and the other leg is in Baddha Konasana, cobbler's pose. So I'm going to start with my left leg straight. My left leg is straight and my right leg is bent. Janu Shirshasana, Upavishta Konasana. Inhale, one leg straight and one leg is bent. Exhale. This should bring some elasticity into the hips. That's it. On the next exhalation, come into staff pose. I'm going to turn myself towards you so you can see. So I've got my right leg is straight, and then I can take my left hand and bring the left leg so that the heel is as far up into my right inner groin as possible, and the left leg moves towards the floor. If you're finding that you're bending the left leg and the knee comes way up here, then place a blanket underneath the knee so that the knee joint is supported. Inhale, lift up, lift the arms, yes. The right leg is working, the thigh is down, the knee is down, the heel is down, and the arms are straight. Pitch the torso over the extended leg, lift the chest, and bring a sense of that concave action to the middle of the back. You can see me touching the middle of my back to bring it in, just like so. Concave back. I'm extending the torso over the leg. And then when I can't keep the concave back anymore, Fold forwards. Place the hands to either side of the right leg or on top of the right toes. Observe the breath. Place the hands by the sides of the hips and come on up. Extend the left leg forward so it joins the right. Come back into staff pose. This time, left leg is straight, right leg is bent. You can place, if you have knee issues, you can see I'm placing the right hand behind the right knee joint, and I'm bending the right leg and placing the right sole of the foot all the way into the left pit of the inner thigh. So the left leg is straight and the right leg is bent in cobbler's pose. And you can take your hands on your thighs and just give them that gentle suggestion to press down into the floor. So we have two separate actions, a downward movement of the extended leg and the upward movement of the arms. Pitch yourself forward, pitch the torso over the extended leg, bring that concave back in, bring the torso forward, and when you no longer can bring it forward anymore, exhale, release down. Bring the hands to either side of the calf or the fingertips on top of the toes. Stay here. I'll be quiet for a minute or two so you can experience the pose. To come out of the pose, place the hands by either sides of the legs and come on up. Extend the legs back into staff pose. So in staff pose, in the classical pose, the feet are together. For today, I'm going to ask you to separate the feet hip width apart, just like we did for the standing forward bends. And we're going to come into a seated forward fold. Take your hands, press them on the thighs, give them that gentle suggestion downwards towards the floor so you feel an extension through the back of the leg, through the back of the hamstring, all the way out to the heels. Point the toes up. Inhale, arms up, yes. Pitch the torso over the legs. Keep the concave spine as much as you can, and then either bring the hands to the sides of the calves or on top of the toes. If it's morning, you might find again the pose takes just a little more to come. Inhale, lift up the head. Exhale, fold forwards. Seated forward bend. You can stay here for up to 5 minutes. Bring the hands to either sides of the hips and come on up. I'm going to show another variation of seated forward bend. You can take a block if you have one handy, and you can take a blanket. This is great variation if you are suffering from headaches or if you've had just a really stressful day in front of the computer. So here we are, back in seated forward bend. Legs are straight. Again, you'll sit up on height if you feel like the sacrum is spilling out either forwards or backwards, and place the block in between the knees. I have a blanket folded in half, and actually I think I'll fold it 3 times. So it's a third, a third, and a third. Place the blanket on top of the block, hands on the hips. I'm going to come on over, and it takes a minute to figure out exactly where I need to be. But my forehead is going to be on top of the blanket, on top of the block. Okay, so give it a dry run before you go in. That's right about where it is for me. So I'm lifting the chest, getting that concave spine before I come forward. I'm extending the torso over the hips until I can go no farther. And then I'm placing my forehead on top of the blanket. Hands on top of the feet. Come out of the pose, place the hands by the hips, and then lift your torso up. Our final pose is Shavasana. Since I've got the blanket handy, I'm going to take it like so. It comes out of the closet like this. So fold it in half once, and then you'll place the blunt edge right in line with the tops of the shoulders. Place the blanket on your mat, and then we'll consciously and carefully lie ourselves down into Shavasana. Join the feet in mountain pose. Bend the knees, bend the elbows. Carefully place the buttocks down on the mat. Come down onto the elbows, and then lower yourself down carefully. You can lift the buttocks and scoop the buttock flesh away from the lower back. Extend the right leg, extend the left leg. And let the big toes move to the sides. Extend the arms out to the sides. Gently close the eyes from top to bottom. Take a long, slow, deep inhalation. And then release that exhalation so that you feel a sense that the entire exhalation has vacated the body. That any stale air that might be hanging out in the lungs has released itself. Scan your body from head to toe. And if there's a place that's feeling extra tight or clenched, see if you can direct extra breath energy to that place. To come out of the pose, bend the knees. Take a moment here. And then on your next exhalation, roll to the right with a rounded back. And then cradle your head in your arm. Push yourself up to a seated position. Come to an easy cross leg. Again, you can sit up on height if that's appropriate for you. Inhale, lift the arms up. Feel the extension along the sides of the waist. Join the palms together. Exhale, bring them in front of the heart. Ascend through the crown of the head, and then release the head to the heart, keeping the heart area, the chest area, lifted all the way. Back of the neck is long and soft. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, release the hands to the tops of the thighs. Thank you so much for practicing today. This sequence is called Simple and Beautiful. We did Parsvottanasana, which is intense lateral stretch of the sides of the waist. It's a classic standing forward bend. We did Virabhadrasana 1, which is Warrior 1. We did Prasarita Padottanasana, which is the standing pose with the legs separated wide. We did Upavishta Konasana, seated pose. It's seated lateral wide angle. We did Janu Shirshasana, head to knee pose with that concave back. And we did Paschimottanasana, which is a seated forward bend at the end. So I'm just giving you a summary of the poses that we did with the names in both Sanskrit and English. Thank you so much for practicing yoga today. I'd love to hear from you all. And let me know the kind of poses and the kind of sequences that would best serve you here at UC Davis, Living Fit Forever. Again, my name is Linda Nueva, and thank you so much. Bye.